I want to get back to Brian Hoyer really quickly though, because
Yep.
Jarrett Stidham's value is obviously, I guess, some upside exists there, and but really, when you look at that third quarterback spot, is there more value? And I know that this might not be the case, but just presenting the question, facilitating, as Felger would say, is there more value in somebody that can mentor Mac Jones, somebody that can help both Mac Jones and Cam Newton in that quarterback room from a studying perspective, a playbook perspective, an opponent film room perspective, and can run the scout team successfully, while Mac Jones taking that sort of responsibility away from Mac Jones, because running scout team can be confusing for some guys, right? Where you're going back and forth between terminologies and things like that. So Brian Hoyer as a scout team quarterback and basically de facto assistant quarterbacks coach, does that hold more value on the 53-man roster than Jarrett Stidham? And obviously, Jarrett Stidham could be traded for something, right? So you're really talking about Hoyer in trade compensation for Jarrett Stidham or Jarrett Stidham. You know, which one is going to end up being more valuable? And I guess this is a good transition to kind of talk into some of these quarterback situations as well that we wanted to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping Hoyer and trading Stidham in that case. I think if you get down to your third quarterback, things have gone so wrong. You know, having the more immediately competitive guy, I don't know that I'm super worried about that at that point. Give me the guy who's going to make Mac Jones better in the long term. That's all I care about. I will sacrifice a game or two this year if it means Mac Jones is a better player for the next 8 to 10 years. I think that has to be the mindset. There is no reason to be in a win now mode if you're the Patriots at the quarterback position. Give me Brian Hoyer and the draft capital. And we've talked about how valuable these draft picks are for next year. Give me Brian Hoyer and the draft capital over Jarrett Stidham.
Right. I guess it just matters what that draft capital is, but I do really feel like that's an interesting element to this, is that Brian Hoyer, remember back in that 2018 season with the Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl, the gushing the locker room did after that game on the defense about how great Brian Hoyer was on the scout team that week, emulating Jared Goff. And I also mentioned that sometimes when you have a rookie first round quarterback like Mac, you don't want to flood his brain with another team's playbook every single week, right? You don't want to force him to run scout team all on his own. So Mac's able to work with Josh McDaniels and the Patriots starting offense and work on the Patriots offense all season long, assuming he's backing up Cam for the time being. And Brian Hoyer is your scout team quarterback, and you get something back in a trade for Jarrett Stidham. This all kind of is predicated on Jarrett Stidham playing decently well in the preseason, you know, because they're not going to get anything. They'll get a bag of footballs if he plays like crap in the preseason games. So that's going to be a big kind of part of this as well. But that I think, we've talked a lot about Cam versus Mac. We did whole shows on that, but that third quarterback spot, because I do think that there is going to be a slight COVID element in all of this too, where they might want to carry three quarterbacks again, just in case things pop up with that.
I think beyond that, you have to carry three, like you said, for the scout team. You don't want Mac Jones running the scout team instead of working on his own game.
Hey, this is comedian J.L. Covan, best known for his impression of Donald Trump. I'm going to be at City Winery in Boston for one night only, July 26th at 8 p.m. Hope to see you there.